Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fangirlz Assemble. Today we have a very special guest. We have Tina. Tina, say hey.
Hi. Hi, guys and gals.
So before we get into everything, get into manga. Oops, shit, my video is still on. My bad, you guys.
Uh-oh. Mute it.
Oh, that's a rookie mistake. I'm so embarrassed. Okay, so before we get into full introductions of Tina and then what we're talking about today, Kristan, can you tell us about our really cool sponsor?
There's instocktrades.com where you can get all the books probably we're going to talk about today. They have discounts on manga and other comic books up to 50% off. And there's loyalty discounts. So if you order 1 week and you're like, man, I need another thing, you're going to get an extra 2% off. Who does that? Instocktrades.com does that. And you'll never pay shipping. If you order $50 or more, free shipping.
You're just wrestling my jimmies with this.
And here's the deal. I could never pay for shipping. I can't do it. Like next week, let's talk about that real quick. Buffy season 12, the last trade comes out. Get on that because Dark Horse is done. Next year it's starting over. It's, you got to get it. So I got to get it. Tuesday I'm going to be ordering. That trade's going to be like maybe $13. Well, I got to just order my books. That's what I'm not paying for shipping. Now, if you want to pay though, $4, it's not that bad.
That's true. Because I'll get that free shipping cost, but I'll pay a little extra for quicker shipping.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth it.
Nice.
It's worth it for them. All right, so that was our Tina. Welcome to our show after our little corny in stock trades.
Hey, it's not corny. I mean, it sounds like a good deal.
It is, and honestly. We're corny about it, but like it matches our passion for how much we love it.
We'd be talking about it either way if they'd never sponsored us. Maybe we shouldn't say that, but like it's true. Emily, don't listen.
Please, Emily. We love you. All right, so Tina, why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
So if you watch Near Mint Condition, hi Mentees, you may know me from those guys. I do a 4-panel show, which we've now extended to Maddie and Amanda. If you haven't ever watched that show, please go see Near Mint Condition, YouTube. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. And hey, subscribe to us too. But we talk about other nerdy topics, and I'm a big anime and manga fan. I also have a lot of cats, so that's about it for me.
That means we have to be best friends. That's what that means to me.
I mean, like, true. Come on. If you like cats, I like cats.
Yes.
Best friend. Like,
and I like this because at any moment during the show, any one of us could have a cat just decide
random.
to
I've got two trapped in the room with me. They're kind of forced to be in here with me and love me. Yes.
You're a weeaboo. So what other? Before we get into our big manga talk, what are your hobbies we can share with all the listeners? What you're about?
Okay, I don't keep any secrets, so this is okay. I am a big, huge, mega weeaboo. Like, I used to be one of those kids that you didn't want to hang around. I was such a weeaboo. I am really into cosplay. I've judged cosplay contests before, that kind of thing. I make my own cosplays. I really do video game cosplays, or more centric in video games now than manga, but really across the board. I'm a big video game player, so I do like Japanese RPGs. I don't play a lot of Western titles, but that's my wife's area. I love watching like Fallout, Witcher, that kind of thing. And then I used to read comic books, but not so much anymore. I got out during Age of Apocalypse, just like that big mass exodus. And occasionally I'll jump back in, kind of pick up a title or two, like some like indie comics like Lumberjanes. But other than that, I'm not as much into the universe as I used to. Sadly.
I mean, Lumberjanes is the best, though. So that's
it's really good. I was really excited
in the chat about where Fariha is. Don't worry, she's not gone forever. She's at work. She's busy today.
Sadly.
And she'll actually be busy next weekend, too, during next week's show. But she loves you all. She's still just mourning the loss of Cap's beard.
She needed some alone time.
Yeah. So
it's understandable.
We'll give her this time of morning, and she'll return glorious and ready to discuss his beard once again.
And she'll be really great. Because if anyone in the group saw, Maddie and I teamed up, and we got her a Captain America with his beard, cardboard life-size cutout. Oh. So she's in good company. It's all good.
Did you hand deliver it?
No. Oh, I wish we could have. I would have loved to see his face.
Just like ring the doorbell and run with him like standing there.
Oh my god.
I don't know what she would do.
Oh, she would lose her mind. It would be great.
Yeah, the cat you hear is one of my cats. He wants out, but he's not getting out.
Good. So, today's topic is manga. I know we normally talk about other comics, but since Fariha's not here and she does not read manga, almost vehemently so, does not read manga.
I'm trying.
Is she afraid of like getting the bug?
You know, I wouldn't doubt that maybe subconsciously that's it, because she does collect a lot of other things. Okay. Manga's it's a pit.
Well, I finally got her to read one, so she has read one.
Which
two,
one?
Technically. My brother's husband. She read those 2 volumes. Okay. Because I was like, you have to. And then she did, and she loved it. So that's something. That's an entry.
We'll get her. There's more, you know.
Is it just like, for some people, they don't like the style. They're used to American comics, and it is drastically different. Or is it just collecting? She just doesn't want to add another collection to her pile.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. We should ask her.
Yeah. We'll get to this. We'll figure it out.
So you're, Maddie, I know you're into manga, but how did you get into manga?
Well, okay, so I used to collect a bunch when I was younger. So little Maddie, little weeb Maddie, was into anime and manga from really a young age. My dad used to take me to the movie rental place. It was called Movies to Go. Later became a Blockbuster, and I would go and I'd pick out anything in the anime section because I had gotten into watching Sailor Moon and, you know, any anime on TV. And then, like, my childhood basically was a lot of my dad being like, hey, let's go out and do something fun. And then he's like me, where he would go out and be like, oh, actually, I don't want to go do this thing. What if I just took you to Books A Million and gave you like $30? I was like,
yes.
All right, cool. And so I would go and I would just buy manga, and that's it. I would only buy manga. It's like, that's what I was going to read. And so most of what I read was when I was younger was a lot of Sailor Moon, a lot of Love Hina, which
that's surprising.
Let me get away with buying Love Hina as a child. It was fine, obviously. It's not that bad, but those women are just naked on the cover. But I guess everybody was just like, whatever, you can just go ahead. And stuff like Utena.
Yes.
Because that would be in the Animanga or Anime, one of those like anime magazines.
I think it was Mix. So Mix came out in the late 90s. I have one of the original Mix before it went to Tokyo Pop, I believe. But it's Mix Manga, and they used to come out basically like what they did in Japan with the Shonen Jump, the huge cheap books. Well, they weren't that cheap here, but you know. Right.
And I loved Shoujo Beat. I collected. I was a subscriber to Shoujo Beat, and that really opened up so much to me as far as shoujo as a genre, because that's what I really started with. It wasn't really the other things. I'd read Shonen Jump, you know, because that was what was there and available to me. But shoujo manga was really just like the bread and butter of it for me. And stuff like Nana, oh gosh, Crimson Hero, which is that volleyball one, and a whole bunch of other ones like Marmalade Boy.
Yes.
Boys Over Flowers. Anyways, so like shoujo was my main genre for the most part, and then I got really into once I like exhausted all the online sites when it got to that point of reading every shoujo manga on the list. Then it went to like, okay, well, I need to read something else, I guess. And so I got into supernatural and horror manga, and then even like fighting manga. Yeah, Parasite, Frankenfron, and then some other ones too. But yeah, and so now I don't read as much. I do when I do read, I read it like I inhale it. So I'll usually, if I start a new anime, I'll get to a certain point and I'll be caught up, but I need more. So I read the entire manga and I get caught up, and then I forget about it for like 3 years and then come back. So that's about how I read manga now, more often than not. And then I read One Piece week to week. But yeah, so that's me. What about you guys? So Kristan, you actually probably collect the most manga out of us.
And I've been doing it like for less time, which is fun.
Yeah,
like I wasn't
going to do it later. So
yeah, I wasn't a cool kid in high school. I was not a cool kid.
I wouldn't call it cool.
Listen, I think you guys are cool kids.
Or not reading mangas that make you cool or uncool. So,
I mean, me in high school was like, I wore either a Buffy shirt every single day or a Green Day shirt every single day. So those were my things. Every now and then mix in like a My Chemical Romance or something. So I was that kid, right?
I was the goth weeaboo.
Nice. I was friends with some of those, but yeah, I don't know. I never read any. I didn't have not an interest, but it just never happened. And I don't know what happened. One day and this was like after college, I was walking around the library and I saw Drifting Classroom. And I was like, what is this? And it looked interesting. And I was like, all right, I'm going to like pick up literally all of these and we'll see if I like this. And then I read it and I was like, well, I'm entertained, but I don't love it, but I'm entertained, and now I need to read more. So then from there, I got everything from the library, so it was way more accessible than picking up like a gazillion volumes of something. And I don't know why, like I am not a sports person at all, but every sports manga I've ever read,
they're good, right?
They're so good. I'm way too interested, like,
I hate sports.
One of the only books I brought up with me was Asheville 21 because I was like,
I still haven't read, but I know I'll love
life.
It. I need to write that down. I got everything ready. I'm gonna have to read that.
How's your
add that onto it
with sports or like card games or anything? Like, how did you make this
exciting?
Infinitely,
right? Why am I suddenly interested? Like, I went from Drifting Classroom to reading all of Slam Dunk.
Yeah,
which.
Ooh, good choice.
I loved so much. Yeah, it was so fun. All the characters, it's so funny. And I was like, why do I like, I don't care about basketball at all. Like, why do I like this so much? It's so true.
There's a word for that. There's a word for like sports manga enthusiasts. And I can't think of it off the top of my head, but there's a subsection of, manga enthusiasts just for the sports, manga. Just like for the girls with the yaoi, it's fujoshi. So it's like you like boy on boy, which I think that's more of a fetish type. But anyways.
Yeah, and it's interesting like how much sports manga comes out to the States too. And then you look at like Western comics, and there's some, especially right now with Boom. Like there's an all-girls like basketball comic coming out next year that looks really great. Like I've been reading Fence this year about a boys fencing team, and it's so good. Like, so it works, but you really don't see as much. So I don't know if that's like a trend that they're like, oh, that's working for manga, let's bring it over here.
Well, I think a lot of those creators, like the creator of Fence, she did a lot of fan work or fan art for anime and manga and things too. So I think the generation that's coming up now that's creating things that are artists, that are writers, we're definitely very heavily inspired by anime and manga.
Oh yeah, there's a whole
I think you're going to see a lot more of that type. I think it's changed comics, Western comics overall, just as even how they're the feeling of it, right? So like you don't need a lot of comics now are kind of follow that manga way where they don't need as much explanation all the time. You can really show facial expressions. You can really let the art do the talking for you a lot of times. Whereas back 20 years ago, comparing the two, it's very, very different.
Right.
Where they're explaining every little thing, and I feel like I'll never finish a page.
And the manga could just be like, oh, and then Cherry Blossom leaves, you're like, oh, I get it.
And it's understood.
I feel that.
There's certain tropes that you learn over time, and it becomes understood what this means. When there's certain flowers shown, it means a certain thing. Just like in anime, when they showed the red moon, something really bad is about ready to happen because it signifies something terrible. And so you get into these, and you don't need like this big, huge explanation. It's just, bam, you understood it, and it's, taken for granted now.
Yeah, I hope we continue to see like those trends happen because it's so true. I don't want to read like a whole page of explanation about things that I can just see.
Yeah.
And these books are also way more character driven. Like the thing about like Slam Dunk, I didn't care about the basketball really. I wanted to know what the characters were doing, and they cared about it, so that made me care about it more. But you know, like with Fence, like it's really character driven. Yeah, they're fencing, but I don't really care about that part. It's the character.
Yeah. So Tina.
Yes.
What about you? What's your manga story? Which I guess it's hard because manga's so tied in with a lot of people with anime too, so it kind of starts at the same time. But what's your kind of
It does. So
your origin story?
My origin story, it started out with Sailor Moon, basically. So I was of the age or older generation where Sailor Moon was kind of mentioned. It was before it came to the States. I found this Canadian website and got like this 5th or 6th generation, like of, I think it was Sailor Moon S. And that kind of opened up the floodgates to other like things at the time. And my first true love of a manga artist or group besides Rumiko Takahashi, which does Inuyasha, was Clamp. And I saw Drew B was like, I was like, oh my god, nobody knows who's Magic Knight Rayearth. And I was like, dude,
you watched the wrong video.
Like, this book is falling apart. Like, I would just read it over and over and over. And like, I still have, like, I had to rebuy this one. It's still falling apart. Like, all my original ones. Some of them are the mixing ones before it went to, I think, Tokyo Pop. So yeah, I collect everything Rayearth and Clamp.
You said you sold off a lot of your manga. Like, how did you choose what you were keeping then? Is it just like the things that really meant a lot to you or still do?
Yeah, so I can't even... When my wife and I graduated college, we went through a little hard spell. And so we were moving, we were buying our first house, and we were paring down our collections. And I kept the things that really had sentimental value to me and things I just wouldn't part with. When my wife was like, hey, this is falling apart, you want to sell it? And I was like, no, you can't take my Rayearth away from me. No. Never. But it was kind of heartbreaking because I used to have like shelves and shelves of manga, and that's like hundreds, like thousands of dollars. And now I have like maybe 3 shelves worth of manga, and that's it.
I think a lot of people went that route too because it's, manga is so, it's great to physically have it. I love reading a manga in my hands more so than online, but it's just not practical. And it's it's so many volumes, and they're smaller and thicker. It takes up a lot of space, and it's just it's hard to collect, and it's expensive for a fast read.
Right.
Because I used to buy books. My dad, even when I was a kid, and still now, my dad would take me to the store, and then I would read one book even before I got home, and that's $10. So now it's hard to justify, and we talked a little bit about it before we started the show, but thank God for these deluxe editions coming out that make it a lot easier, and they're much more aesthetically pleasing on your shelf.
Right. I think those pair well with the American aesthetic. So when you look at our comics, they're a higher grade paper, they're a higher grade print quality. And I think what they've tried to do with manga here is kind of do the Japanese route where it's not, they're thick pages, but they're not as high grade as we like to see here. We like to see full color spreads. We like to see nice glossy pages. And I did pick up one recently that has like a front section that does have the nice glossy, pages, but then it goes to the cheaper print style in the back.
I've always wondered about the size difference between America and Japan with manga too, because let me see if I can find a good example between the two.
You're talking about like when they're produced in Japan, like it's this really just cheap.
Well, they're smaller.
Paper.
Like
and they're
it's a lot easier to fit. I feel like. I also love have their own little desk jackets, like little bitty.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about like the nice deluxes they're coming out with. Like I'm for the first time reading Full Metal Alchemist in these little hardcovers they're coming out with.
Yes.
So they're like nice. Shiny, and I think it's like I think they're only 1.5 volumes. It's something like that. But the paper, it's not glossy. I don't know how to describe it. I'm like touching it. You can't touch it, but it's different than it's different than like regular manga paper. I don't know.
Like it's more durable. It's like a heavier.
It's heavier. It's thicker. It's made out of. It doesn't feel like a newspaper kind of material, you know?
Right.
Or like a phone book sort of situation. You know what I mean? It's different, and they're very nice, and they look cute. Look at these little spines. Oh,
they look so nice.
I really want to get the Battle Angel Alita ones. That was a comic that I loved, and I did let go of. So we did sell my copies, but they have like the Ultimate Edition, or and they're nice hardcover books. They look, really nice. Probably about like your standard like collection, unlike the smaller Japanese books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those look nice. I think that box set comes out next week.
So what do you all have now in your own collection? Because I know that you both have smaller ones, but like, whoops. Sorry, guys.
Drunk.
What's up? So what do you guys have now in your collections?
Mainly shoujo. So I do collect a lot of shoujo. Like other mangas I'll read, like Noragami. I love Noragami, but it's not in my collection. I've borrowed it from the library, and I just read it, and when I want to pick it back up, I'll do that. I've been thinking about getting My Hero, but right now it's just like, this is another one. This is out of print. This is Please Save My Earth. It's another one that didn't go through the sale. This is shoujo, and then Kami-sama Kiss. This is a newer one.
Yes.
It's so sweet. Those made it through the ringer, and of course, One Piece.
One Piece.
And this
just so you know, T and I are big One Piece. Somebody said, when are we going to talk about One Piece?
Yes.
I just need you to see this behind me right here. It's, we're involved.
Yeah, you can't see my cases, but they're filled to the brim, over the brim with One Piece figures, including the pop ones. So, but with these ones, I get the Super Saver, I guess is what they used to call them, where they're combined 1, 2, and 3 volumes.
That's what I want to pick up, because I really would like to have them. Like, One Piece means a lot to me, and I feel so bad over the years reading all of One Piece online or watching it online, because I want to support Oda as much as I can, and I do that by spending an insane amount of money at One Piece stores in Japan or on my figures. But I would like to buy like the books, especially once it's done. It means so much to me in my life that like I really like to have it.
Well, you can pick up those box sets, like that makes them really cheap per volume.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, like $4 a volume or something.
I mean, you have to plunk down, like $100 or so for the box set, but it's worth it.
That's worth it, honestly.
You get like 24 volumes, I think, in a set.
That sounds great. And for people at home, I used to do a panel where I would spread the praises of One Piece. So, I was going to say, I know we're still talking about what we have in our collections, but I want to interject real quick with like some news that just got announced recently this week. That
is it the article that I linked to you earlier?
Yes.
Awesome. Yes.
The sorry, I have to cough. Start it. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, but yeah, there's gonna be a new manga subscription service. It's like what, $2 a month, right? And you'll be able to. Is it just Shonen Jump, Tina, or is it like I
think it's just Shonen
right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my question about that.
You can read all of Shonen Jump, right? And you get it like as Japan gets it.
Right. Too. So it's going to be, instead of going to Scanslation's site, you're going to get it same day as Japan, fully translated, and I think, was it 99 cents a month or something?
$2 a month.
Okay, something. $2. Yeah, I knew it was ridiculously cheap, which is a really good deal. I would rather support the mangaka than read Scanslations. Like, I know the Scanlators do excellent jobs, but I want it to go towards the artist rather than yeah.
And I felt so bad about it, because like I've gotten to the point now where I don't like to do anything illegally, because I'd rather spend the money and make sure that it's going to where it needs to go. So if I want to watch something that's not on one of my like streaming sites, I just go ahead and buy the season online or something, so I can watch it as it comes out. And I'm lucky. I'm privileged enough that I can do that where I am right now. So I recognize that that's not a possibility for everyone, but because I have the opportunity, I would like to do that. And so being able to do it for manga makes me feel a lot better because I feel so bad. I'm like, I'm so sorry, Oda. Like, I want to read everything as it comes out, and I'm not supporting you, and you deserve all the money.
Well, and I think that's the biggest draw for, especially like you and I, where we were like, hey, the next chapter's on. Have you read it yet? It's being current and staying up to date and having it when it comes out in Japan, so you're not getting spoiled when you go online.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it. So I'm really thankful that that's something that we'll be able to do, and I can start keeping up with other. If they make the app easy to use too, or whatever the service is, then even better, because that matters a lot too. So many like, okay, I'm reading this manga and then pop up, and I'm like, oh god.
My question is like, are they going to have a catalog of like everything, or do we know yet?
So what they've announced is they are for the subscription. So they're going to have free. So they noticed that when they did their like free view of it, they got so many more subscribers or so many more people interested in manga. So they said this is a good thing. We'll make it cheaper and we'll get more people into it. When you subscribe to it and you pay this fee, you also get our back catalog. So anything that we've produced, I don't know how far that goes back. I don't know if it goes back to Astro Boy back in the 1950s, if they're going to go translate all that. But they said you will get the back catalog.
Cool.
That's so nice.
There's like a great deal.
Out on. Oh, that's great. Okay, so anyways, back to current collections. Tina, you kind of touched on what you've got right now. Kristan, you've been picking up things kind of as they go on sale, as you find a cool one. Do you have any sort of like rhyme or reason or direction you're going with it, or just kind of a...
my favorite thing is deals. So that's how I get a lot of my comics anyway. Like if I need a bargain, okay? And if I'm at half price books and you got all of Pluto, like I recently picked up, I'm going to get the whole thing because it's really cheap, right? And that's only like, what, 6 volumes or something? I'm not going to look. I think it's 6. But Naoki Urasawa, he's my favorite because I love Monster. So I'm going to pick up anything by him, probably.
I need to get that down.
There we go.
I need to get his book.
It goes like this, right? All right. Guys, I've been reading it the wrong way this whole time.
I don't even know how books work.
Left to right, what?
And these are really nice too. Like this is the ultimate collection, and these are like 2-in-1s, so they're pretty chunky. And
so bad.
Yeah, and there's only like 9 of these. Yeah, 9. See, and that's a nice size. Like I do have that. I got that first box set of One Piece forever ago, and I want to get the other ones, but at the same time, I'm like, that's a lot of money to just drop on that, right?
It is hard. It's hard. It's totally worth it though. Let me just okay, do it.
I need to do it. I need to do it. So worth it. Because I also haven't read all of them.
Join us.
I'm going to join you. It's going to happen. But yeah, I'll like pick up things that look interesting or I know I will like, again, if they're on sale. Like In Stock Trades, our fabulous sponsor, recently had a clearance and damages sale. So I picked up probably 5 manga volumes for like $2 each.
Nice.
I mean, that's easy to do, right? Because it's like, oh, that's nothing compared to what you usually are. Or I read a lot from the library now. Like, I'm reading The Promised Neverland as it comes out. Because I can just go to my library and, get the volumes.
Is that the one where he's supposed to be like Lost Boys? Or am I thinking of
This is the orphanage of kids where they realize that they're actually being farmed for like a group of monsters.
Ooh, never mind. I haven't.
Okay, it's really fun. You should check it out. It's called The Promise to Neverland. There's only 6 volumes right now, so it's accessible. And especially, again, if you can go to your library and like, that is such a great resource that people may not think about. And especially the popular titles, like they're going to have all of One Piece, maybe.
Right.
They're going to have
My Hero. Like I have some library ones, not to be like, but My Hero Academia makes it a lot more accessible to go pick it up at the library, see if you like it before you want to drop some cool change on it.
Or even like I got that first volume when it came out and I really enjoyed it. And then the rest was at my library. So I was like, oh, I'm not buying this anymore. You know, because it makes it hard to be like, oh, why would I do that when I could just like go over there and get it for free?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't have much of a reason when I get stuff. I do like these nice like hardcovers. Like this is one of my favorites, Wandering Sun, which sadly was not fully released in English. But these are really nice, like big Fantagraphics, like hardcover volumes.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of my gripes with manga is like some of them, like if they're continuing in Japan, you don't know if it's a title that's going to be dropped, if we're not going to get the full release. Like Noragami, I suggest everybody pick it up and read it, but it's on hiatus because I think the writer is sick. So they do kind of tie it up a little, but I want more. I really want more. But I mean, that's unfortunate. You can't help, you know, the mangaka or the writer getting sick.
Yeah.
But like it just makes me mad when they don't release everything. Like I used to be into the 12 Kingdoms, and it's kind of like this weird manga story. And they didn't release all of the 12 Kingdoms here in the US.
And I guess like the pro about being into manga is that you have a continuous story with the same writer and artist, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's really nice because in America that changes all the time. And it's very, very frustrating because it's a new person, a new view, and a lot of things don't get, you know, resolved. But with manga, you're gonna be, well, maybe things don't get resolved. Looking at you, JoJo's, but you know, more often than not, though, you have a very continuous story, and you have some sort of accountability sometimes. Not always.
Yeah.
But then
you don't have to have like a jarring art change either, which I hate.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes. But then, you know, the bad part is that, you know, I'm an example of this. I'm into Hunter x Hunter. I love Hunter x Hunter.
Oh,
but man, we're never going to have that story be done because that artist, you know, has the writer has a lot of problems.
Right.
He's got a lot of back problems. Sometimes his wife, who is Naoki Takeuchi, who writes Sailor Moon, has had to like fill in on things, and so we'll get it a little bit, and then a long hiatus, and then again and again and again. So it's dependent very much on one person. It's just like with Oda, who thank God has told someone. He is one person who knows, like how it ends, so that if anything happens to him, because he has health problems, One Piece will be finished. You know, we'll know what happens at the very least, but you know, what can you do?
You never know. Yeah.
So I don't really collect any manga, really. Every once in a while I'll pick things up. I was collecting Kurosagi Corp's Delivery Service, but then it was hard for me to find. These got super out of print, from what I understand.
I have the first two, and I'm just like, oh, there's only 4, I think, and that's not the whole thing.
Yeah, so they re-released these recently with like those 3-in-1s, but I don't think those were being continued either, or they were out of print or something like that. And so once again, my opportunity to have all of this it's not going to happen for me probably.
I'm sad about it too.
Yeah. I also collect the Suikoden 3 manga. I know it's a very weird specific thing, but I'm a Suikoden collector. It's a Japanese RPG. And they have a few manga for that, and I'm a pretty avid Suikoden collector. If anybody ever comes to my house, they'll know pretty quickly that that's my ride or die. And then I like to pick up random Japanese ones while I'm in Japan. Just they're nice to have, like Komodi High School. I also, you know, it helps me practice my Japanese as well. Like Blue Exorcist, Aishou 21, which is my favorite sports anime and manga. But I think I'm going to get back into it because I had just gotten for near mint condition Uzumaki by Junji Ito. So I think I'm going to get into collecting all of Junji Ito's books because the way they're collected is so nice. And
you have to get Cat Diary.
Oh, 100%. I'm getting everything.
Tina, have you read those?
I have not. I've not read his. Like I've read some of his collections. I have not read Cat Diary, and I'm very interested in it.
You have to. It is so fun.
So creepy and so weird and so great.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to get into collecting Naoki Urasawa's stuff because I love Monster the show and I love 20th Century Boys the movie, but I've never read any of his manga. So I was like, well, if I'm going to read it, I might as well just go and buy it all because I'm I'm blown away by him. So I think I'll just reserve it for certain nice looking things or certain issues that or certain things that like we don't have like an anime for anime I really like GTO, because GTO is a continuation, or like other manga series. I'd like to get those. But
yeah, and I love these oversized, like here's the Attack on Titan huge beast of a book.
Nice.
Where's the okay, so here's a regular volume, right? This is insane.
Let's make it American. Let's make it us. Give us those big books.
Yeah, we want these beasts of a book. I mean, this is insane.
I mean, and when you buy something like that, you feel like your money was well spent. Like when I paid like $20 for this, I was like,
you're like, oh no.
I mean, it's really cute, but
yeah, or like you know, I'm sure everyone watching has seen these by now, but the Mobile Suit Gundam Origin hardcovers, which are gorgeous.
Yeah,
they're
I'm
so
not a
nice.
Gundam person, but those are beautiful.
I'm not either, but I was like, oh, I can't resist this. So I like pretty things, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, honestly.
Well, so, and I have to just mention Cheese Sweet Home, by the way. I know technically it's not manga technically.
No, you should definitely mention Cheese Sweet Home.
Yeah. It's so good.
Of course.
Oh my gosh, it gets me. I love it.
It's on color and it's so wonderful.
Oh, how nice is that?
Really
like,
cute.
Oh,
guys,
man.
I know we're all fine with black and white at this point, but this is just such a nice thing to be able to be like, yes, everything's in color.
Yeah. It's just so precious, you know?
Adorable.
Oh. All right, so we talked about what we have and how we got into stuff. I don't know. Is there anything you've read recently that you really like? Or
I'm going to mention it again. I've already mentioned it on here, but My Brother's Husband is so good.
Oh, yes. I've heard about this one.
There's only 2 volumes. They're little like hardcovers. They're really cute. They even have like inner like pictures. It's really nice. I think who put this out? Pantheon. Okay. But it's so good. It'll make you cry and have all the feelings, and I really like the art, and it'll give you the feels. It's good.
I love how this deals with multiple issues too, because it's dealing with Japan's like ideal and stereotypes of what gay relationships are, and not only that, with relationships with foreigners. So it's multi-tiered, and you have the family aspect. So that's on my to-get list.
It'll punch you in the heart in the best way. It's good. I also recently I've only read the first volume. I guess this is a 2-in-1, but Sweet Blue for Flowers. I think there's only 4 of these. And it is a Yuri story. And
is that just, I think did they make an anime for that? I assume it just translates to Aoihana, like blue flower.
I think they did.
I'm not the one to ask. I don't know. Oh, it's the author of Wandering Sun. Maybe that's why I got it. Because I really love that.
I'm glad that more Yuri stuff's getting printed, too.
Yeah, and these are like the Viz Sigs, which are like the bigger edition, which I love. Nice. And there's always like 2-in-1, which I much prefer to pick up than, because, you know, the value's there.
Yeah. I need to pick up stuff.
Also, A Silent Voice, if you guys...
I want to read so bad.
You probably already know about it. It's only 7 volumes. It is so good. It is so unique.
We're getting a movie.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But
that's a movie.
Fabulous. It is fabulous.
The movie is just so... It made me cry. My wife was like, why are you crying?
I gotta check that out now.
What about you, Tina? Have you read anything lately
that I'm into? There's always the standards like My Hero Academia and then Tokyo Ghoul. These are, I know they're a little bit older, but they're really worth picking up. They're not my usual shoujo. And then what's funny is my wife got me this. It's the life-changing manga.
I read the English book,
So yeah, it's by a Japanese...
I have the English book on my shelf.
Yeah, and it's by a Japanese writer, and they turn it into a manga form for those of us who can't read books.
I mean, I listened to it, so...
Honestly, it changed my life as far as how I fold clothes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Like,
I couldn't keep up the rest, but...
I feel that.
And then there was also, I want to pick them up. It's How I became a slime. I'm not getting that title correct. It's a anime out right now.
That is like that time I was reincarnated as
a slime. Yes. So the manga looks really, really cute too. So I really want to pick that up. It's kind of like a play on like D&D monsters. What would happen if you became a D&D monster? Check it out.
Sounds fun.
Oh man, you guys, someone's talking Suikoden to me in the chat. You know how wonderful this is?
Ooh, Assassination Classroom. That's a good one too.
Yeah, I like that one too. I also recently got, I haven't read it yet, but Fragments of Horror by Ito. Which is another just like cute little hardcover.
He has the nicest hardcovers.
It's so nice,
right?
Have you guys seen Under This? I'm gonna get it naked real quick because like
get it naked, girl.
When I did that, I was like, wait, is that what I expected?
What's under that jacket?
You guys ready? What? It was all colorful, and now it's all dark and crazy.
Ooh.
I love it.
Welcome to our show.
It's gonna give me a nightmare.
What's under the skin? You don't want to know.
We need to just like have like reading parties, you know? Like we all have these collections. Everyone just needs to host like a weekend. Everybody start to sit with your friends too. Just host like a day get together. You just sit, you're comfy, there's snacks, and you just read. You don't talk to each other. You just read all day.
Don't even look at each other. Don't make it weird.
If you hit their foot, don't make eye contact.
I mean, that's what I got Kotatsu for, honestly. It's just to read with my friends, but with some heat.
Sounds so nice. At first, I thought you were saying we should go live and just read on air. Just be like,
honestly, I swear there's probably a market for that. That's where we get some of the weirdos. They're like, show us your feet.
Some like ASMR breathing or something.
Yes,
flipping pages.
My Angelou type thing, you know, you're like, missed connections.
It might be interesting. I mean, like, honestly, Tina and I watched those like walking videos in Japan. Where somebody's just walking. And they're very soothing.
No, I'm there with stuff. Yeah.
Seriously, if you plan a trip to Japan, just I think it's Rumblock on YouTube here. Just watch his videos, put them in when you're cleaning. It's really soothing, and it gives you a layout for Japan and a feel for Japan.
That's fun.
It's so good. So recent reads, I recently, and not too recent, because I haven't read anything too recently, but last thing I read through was Ancient Magus Bride. And there's an anime for it, and it's beautiful. It's just like, it's very fantasy. Like this girl gets kind of sold to this being who has like this giant skull head. And she goes to live in his house and learns to be his assistant, kind of. And she deals with like fairies and people that turn into wolves, and like there's just mystical things. I'm not selling this well, but it's a show basically. It's just beautiful. The world building is beautiful. All the scenery is beautiful, and I super recommend it. And besides that, of course, One Piece, which is great.
Yes.
And if you ever need tips on how to get into One Piece, I can do a whole show on that. So we should do that, actually. Next time Fariha is busy.
That would be great.
I'll go ahead and read the 23 volumes I got, and we'll talk.
If that doesn't get you, you have to start at Water 7, so you can meet my main man. I don't know if you can tell by my shelf. Do I have a little one I can grab?
You've got a couple little Frankies.
Yeah, they're not as close to me, though.
True.
I'll grab the Halloween Frankie. This is my main man, my life.
Nice.
I love him so much. And the minute I got to watch his like arc, it was over.
And you can see like behind me, I painted like
everybody's grabbing the other ones. Yeah, that's a good one. Here's my Frankie One Piece chess piece, which I think I'm gonna end up doesn't stay on there that well. He's so good, you guys. Okay, I'll put him back.
I'm gonna do it, and we're gonna talk about it.
I can't wait, because you always have to ask, like, who's your favorite character, and then
and I'll say someone you hate, and you'll be like, "Oh no, now we can't be friends."
No, I love actually, there's only one character I hate.
Is it Foxy?
Tina, you know who I hate. Don't play around. It's like you don't know. It was his own damn fault, Tina. I hate Ace. That's it. Everybody at home, be happy. You like Ace? I hate him. I'm glad whatever happened to him happened that I won't talk about.
Because I feel like I'll hate him. That's what I feel like.
Oh, my roommate wants me to show you Jinbei, because that's her favorite. He's a fish man, and I love him.
Like the character designs at first, before I got into it, I was like, this is so stupid. They look so dumb. And then I'm like, yeah, that totally makes sense. He's the best. He's
Senior
awesome.
Pink doesn't look dumb. He's a man wearing baby clothes, and I cried over him. I cried over him.
I love everything about what's happening. It makes me want to read it.
This is a whole show where all I do is pull out figures on my shelf and tell you about how much I love them.
I love figures so much.
Oh man, speaking of figures, if we have time at the end of the show, can I talk about my new one when we get there?
Oh yeah, the big girl.
The big girl.
Oh, I have to mention before I forget. I recently read the first volume from the library, That Blue Sky Feeling.
I've never heard of it.
It is about two boys in, I guess, high school. Guys, I forget who puts it out, but it is so cute. And like one guy's like a bigger guy, and you like never really see that, and then he gets a crush, and like, it's great. It's great. Aww. It's just great. I loved it. It gave me feelings.
Aww.
I love feelings.
I mean, like, all I read is shoujo, and it's nothing but feelings.
Yeah, and even when it's the same, like, stereotype over and over and over again, it's still so good.
Well, and I think that's when you pick up one that doesn't meet a stereotype, you're really...
I was about to think of one.
Yeah.
Oh man, what's it called?
What's it called? Yes.
My Love Story.
I was just about to say it's My Love Story, because I love that one.
Yes.
Yeah. I have 2 volumes left.
My God.
I'm reading it right now.
Okay, so everybody at home, if you read manga and you think, okay, I don't like shoujo, or if you read manga and you're like, I love shoujo, you've got to read My Love Story. It is, I mean, it hits everyone because it's not what you think it's going to be. And Takeo is, I mean, really the best man ever. I mean, no one can ever amount to anything. Really, you're not going to be Takeo. None of us can be.
And it's not super long, which is so nice. Like, I'm almost done. It didn't take that long, you know?
Ooh, watch the anime once you're done, please, because it's really good.
And it does have one trope in it that I was a little upset about, but it doesn't follow the usual shoujo tropes that people get turned off of shoujo for. So it is definitely worth reading or checking out at your library.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
So do you have any honorable mentions of, like, favorite manga?
I do.
Ever? Okay.
Yeah, this wouldn't get in my, like, top 5, I don't think, but I really did love The Flowers of Evil.
Ooh.
Which is only 11 volumes, and it's by
that sounds familiar. Can you tell me, describe this really quick? I'll look it up at the same time.
Whatever you look up is going to sound better than whatever I'm going to say. But it's about this boy and this girl, and they're in, I guess, high school. They're always in high school, right?
Yeah.
But it's not the typical thing you're going to think it is, and gosh, I remember reading it and being like, what am I reading? Like, and the characters were so messed up. She's super crazy and, like, manipulative, and, like she does some bad things, and a lot of bad stuff happens, and then it gets really kind of, like, horrific toward the end, and I'm not good at describing it. I really love the art, though. But it's not what I expected, and it should be called The Flowers of Evil. I think it's a great title for it, because these are not likable characters. But it still got to me. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I didn't describe it well at all. Whatever you're reading is better, but as far as the description. But it's short, and I like it.
I'm gonna look out later.
Also, Vertical publishes it. I feel like everything Vertical does is weird. Like, in a good way. Like, usually I like it, and it's weird. So that's what this was. It's weird.
Okay.
And this blew up, like, more than... I guess in Western, it blew up. But my lesbian experience with loneliness...
Oh, please tell me how that is. I've been wanting to read it so bad.
I loved it. I really loved it. It's nonfiction. It's about a girl. She's struggling with, like, depression and her sexuality. And it really blew up. Like, everyone everywhere was, like, reading it, I feel like.
It's a true story, right?
And it's a true story. And it's intense. It deals with a lot of, like, difficult subject matters. I love the, like, color palette, though. It's just, like, white and pink.
I love the style of it. It's not your usual.
Tina, let's get it and read it together. Let's do a book share.
Yeah, and there's recently been a sequel, and I haven't gotten it yet. So we should I'll get the sequel. You guys get the sequel. We'll all talk about it.
Oh,
but yeah. And it is for older teens,
2 books,
16 plus.
coming out.
I think you're right. Yeah, but yeah, it was really good. Gave me feelings. It's upsetting.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask you about this episode to see if you'd read it.
Yeah,
I've been dying to read it, but it's not on sale. The most places I buy things.
I got mine on Amazon, so
that's
maybe look there. Yeah, they may damage every book.
Discounted.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not an IST. So.
I hear you.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because I wanted to read it so bad.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So Tina, what's do you have any top manga? You think
top manga ever? Rare. I mean, it's rare, obviously, but I don't know if it's still in print. If you can pick up King of Thorn, who is it by? Let me see if I can find out. Yuji Iwahara. So it is a sci-fi survival. So it's kind of like it goes through so many plot twists. I can't even begin to delve into the levels, and I think they actually did a movie of this.
Yeah, it's out on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah. Okay, good. So it came out in I think 6 volumes, but it is a interesting twist one. I won't spoil any twist, but there's a virus that's basically wiping off humanity. So people get sent to this little program where they get encapsulated to survive this plague, and hopefully in the future scientists will be able to wake them up and cure them. And then shit goes down from there. It's interesting if you like that sort of survival kind of almost horror-like. Pick up the manga if it's available. That's the thing. A lot of the manga that I would suggest are usually out of print, like Please Save My Earth. They're a little old school, and they're not newer. And then if you're into shoujo, I just picked this one up. It basically talks about otaku culture and how hard it is being Japanese and trying to fall in love with someone who's an otaku, like how you can't get dates, and then it's unexpected love between 2 old friends that are both video game otakus.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was trying to get my favorite while I was asking you two guys, probably trying to, delay it. And that's such a hard thing to think about because I've read so many things and I read so fast. It's very hard for things to stick with me sometimes. I really like Liar Game a lot. I think that one really stuck with me. It's I don't know how to describe it, but basically there's an anime for it. There's dramas. But this girl ends up being caught in this gambling game. And she kind of pairs up with this guy who's really, really smart, kind of like Yagami smart, but not in an evil way. And they figure out how to get to this gambling game together. And there's all this stuff going on. You have to play with these other people, and you don't know how they're going to react. And at the end of each arc, he says something really smart and solves the whole puzzle, right? Where he's like, "I've been doing this all along." And I love stuff like that. I fall for it every time. I think it's so much fun. So that one's a really good one. I recommend. Another one. As far as shoujo, I really, really like Say I Love You. I don't like the anime. I don't recommend it. But the manga was very well done. I thought it was a beautiful portrayal of real relationships and romance. I don't think you always see that. It's very mature. They really do go through things. It's not all the same tropes. I really like that. There's one other. It was just as I was saying, I like to Say I Love You. There's one more in my head. It was is right there. I guess it's gone forever. And I think, stuff like Nana. I love Nana, of course.
Love Nana. That's another one that never really ended.
Well, yeah, I say I love Nana, but I love Nana to a point because it got ridiculous. And I think that's something you run into, right? With a lot of these manga that keep going.
Well, Naruto was like that. Boruto. I mean, they get so long and they make so much money. You can tell the writer and the artist wanted to end it, but the publishing house was like, "This is a moneymaker. You keep doing this."
Yeah. Man, Skip Beat's the same way. A lot of those things, but One Piece is the only exception I've seen for something that can continue, and it's still. It doesn't have plot holes. Everything matters. Everything comes back.
Well,
There's still consistent character development with main characters and non-main characters.
That's because he still has a story. Yeah.
Yeah, because most shonen, like, you don't always see every character progress as a person.
Right.
It's the main person, and that's about it, right? Like, that's why I don't like Dragon Ball that much. I mean, I love it, but I have problems with it. Same with Naruto, right. Same with a lot of the other ones, but One Piece is the one that's, like, across the board, character development amongst main characters, all of them, side characters and villains. Yeah. So that's pretty wonderful. But yeah.
Can we mention Dragon Ball real quick? Like,
we can talk about Dragon Ball. I like Dragon Ball.
Here's the thing.
I like Dragon Ball.
I have the first Dragon Ball Viz Big. Okay. I am looking at my bookmark right now. I got halfway in it. And I couldn't get over... I don't even remember the character names, guys. I never watched the anime. I couldn't get over the creepy old guy being super creepy with the girl and the panty shots and how young she is and how creepy it is. And I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. I know it was written a long time ago. I don't know if I can do it. So then I put it down. My question is, should I keep going?
Keep going. So that old man trope used to appear more than it does now. Like, it appeared in Ranma.
Ranma.
Golden Boy. I mean, Golden Boy was basically the old man trope, just a young boy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't appear as much anymore, and he does get better. But I think it's worth reading through. It's definitely it was an overused trope.
Well, it just kept happening. I was like, why?
It's so Japanese, you know? It's so Japanese. Even, I mean, like, so much. There's things that I would never let fly in America. Like, okay, this is BS. No way. You know, and as we do in the show, I'm like, no. And sometimes I'm like, I can't do the same. I can't equate these two things. They're very different for me. So there's like a different set of rules sometimes. Not with everything. I think some things regardless. But some of the pervier aspects, I'm like, well, I'm not really sure what to do about this.
Well, there are those like big obvious cultural differences, and I'm like, reading it as someone who is in this year and living in the United States and understanding that and knowing that this is a different thing, but I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, it's how I feel about, like, as an adult now, thinking back and not realizing that everyone in Sailor Moon was in middle school and how weird some of these relationships were. And I'm like, oh.
Well, and the fact that a lot of times when they...
Darian's in high school or college. It's Serena. Oh my god. Mamoru and Usagi. Darian, Serena.
They'll change the ages when they translate it here, because I think in Japan the age of consent was like for the longest time like 13 or 14. And then over here it's 16, 18. So a lot of things they would be like they're 18 or they're 16, where if you look and you do some research and you're like, oh, this kid's like 12 in this manga. They're 13, they're 14, and it gets a little skeevy, and there's no excuse for it. I think Japan's getting better now. Or
they do the other route where they're like, listen, guys, she's actually 204. She just looks like a lowly. Okay,
she's Dawn and Buffy. Got it. Okay,
thanks.
So she's the key. Got it.
I love this. I kept this, but it has the opposite. So they get. To explain a little bit, this is sort of like a sci-fi book. It's a shoujo, but it's sci-fi. They're space aliens. They get reincarnated on Earth, but something happens where one of the characters is about 7 years younger, and it's not the girl. It's the boy in the relationship. So it's versus, but it's a little skivvy if you're not used to that. They do wait to progress in the relationship until he's older, but it's very... It flips that old Japanese trope on its head.
Okay, so we're nearing the end. Can I show my figure?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me grab it real quick. It's gonna require both hands. So.
This is Oh, dang.
We need like a size comparison of something.
What?
We need like a size comparison of something so we know like.
I will. Let me get a book or something.
Yeah,
so,
like a trade.
Guys, I know this is not related to our subject, but I've been dying to show you guys. So the best Christmas present ever. Red Sonja. I've been dying to get this.
Expensive.
Yes, she is
gorgeous. Look at that detail. Like, I'm really into figures. Oh my god. Who? What?
This is Sideshow. It's a Sideshow premium format.
Oh wow.
She's 22 inches tall. About. She takes up a lot of the space on my shelf.
And she's resin.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, she's. Oh god. I mean, she's beautiful. Like the details in this. If I was gonna make a cosplay of this, I would know exactly what I need to make, and I think I will probably. But it's. Oh my god. This is insane.
I have so many problems with scale mail that's like designed that way, but then I also love it so much on this figure.
Well, she does it so well. Honestly, this character, like, I mean, I've been very vocal the past month about how much I've fallen in love with her. Because I put her off, like, my own bias. I was like, oh, this looks like it's not going to be for me. And I picked up Red Sonja by Gail Simone, and everything changed. I was like, she's amazing. She's awesome. She's pansexual, and she's a badass, and she's so cool. And it's just, I love her so much. But anyways, I'll put it back on the shelf.
That detail's crazy.
Actually, I'm too scared to do it by myself. I'll wait.
Do it later.
It's too expensive. I have so she's a Sideshow premium format, and I pre-ordered the Wonder Woman premium format, and she'll be in, I hope soon, next month. It should be before February, end of February.
She's large. What scale is it?
I don't know actually, because it just let me see if it says. I think it just says premium format, so I don't know if like how that corresponds to her height. Why is my internet so slow? Like all the time.
I'm sorry, Aries.
Yeah, I don't know how the scale works, but probably she's about. It says
people in the chat are helping.
Yeah, Lionheart and sorry,
they got me 1-4. Yeah, thanks guys.
Scale. I mean, she's huge.
But I'm hoping to do like some nicer pictures, or maybe I'll do a video for Near Mint if everybody wants. Because there's a million videos of her. I mean, already online. I watched so many before this came in.
Because you've seen them all, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what I do. I go online, and before I buy a figure, if I'm interested in it, I'll look up videos. So it's nice to see more.
Yeah, and that's how I can tell if I really want one. Is by, like, if I watch a bunch of videos and I still want it, then I'm good. And it's hard for figures like her, because I'm not likely to see that in person. Other figures like the Wonder Woman Gotham Garage behind me, I saw it in person a lot before we got it. My Frankie figures, I never order Frankie online. I always wait until I see it in person and see how I feel. Same with like all my One Piece ladies. Those are all things I saw in person. I was like, oh damn, and then I had to go get it, right? So I don't make a jump online for most purchases, and so this was an exception. And same with my Sideshow Wonder Woman coming in, but. Anyways,
awesome.
So yeah, thanks for letting me. I've just been dying to do
She's gorgeous, though.
Oh man, Tina, I can't wait till you come over so you can see it. You've got to see her face.
I don't need any more figures. I'm gonna wind up like Omar's basement.
Oh man. Yeah, Kristan, whenever you come to visit, we have to show you Omar's basement.
I want to see that.
People have seen videos, of course, and he needs to do a new one now that he's got it set up.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
He's put all his omnibuses behind us now. But, I mean, all his figures, like, when we're looking and we're doing shows, we just see them all around the room. And I'm just like, dust them. I can't tell you how many boobs I have dusted in that basement.
Is that your official friend title now? The boob duster.
Yeah, boob
like
duster.
every time I'm over, I'm like, and Omar's like, thanks. I'm like, yeah, it's like crap, Omar, dust it off.
Yeah, if you have that many figures, you need to be dusting them. Yeah, like
it's ridiculous.
Called compressed air, Omar. You can use compressed air on your figures.
Man. So yeah. That's all I've got. What's up? Anything else, guys?
Yeah, I think we went through it.
We did. So I think
I'm gonna have to pick up some.
Tina, if you'd be interested, I think maybe next time we have like one of these manga or anime centric videos, or if we should probably do it. I think we do an anime show because we mostly do comics, but I think every once in a while, if everybody's cool within the chat, do like a top anime, recent animes, something. I think that'd be nice.
I think that'd be great. And then with Near Men, we'll soon be doing Kawaii Corner or some other named of that. So we'll do like hopefully we'll do something monthly or every other month or seasonal where we'll do anime.
Yeah, so everybody home, like Tina and I are planning right now. Once we kind of get our lives back in order, maybe after MagFest, doing like a monthly show on anime because the rest of the group doesn't really do that as much. So
no,
Kristan, if you're ever in town and you want to,
one day I'll be in town for sure.
Slumber party.
Yeah, you can have a slumber party with all 8 of Tina's cats.
You don't understand how that's a dream in my life right now. Like every time you had a cat behind you, I was just like, look at the kitty, look at the kitty. Wait, you guys are talking. I apologize.
My cat finally decided to settle down over beside me in the cat bed by the computer. He's like looking at me. He's like, what do you want? Yeah.
Well, if we ever do another manga episode, I want you guys to read The Promised Neverland so we can talk about it. Because you were both like, whoa. And I'm like, yeah, I know, right?
Well, maybe we can do one in a few months where we have like a small reading list. And maybe Fariha will be cool with that too. And we all join in.
Yeah.
And do like a quick little review.
That would be completely awesome with me.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That'd be cool with that. All right. So, so Tina, thanks so much for joining in. We really appreciate it. It's been fun.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for being here. You are a delight. You and your cats.
And everybody at home, thanks again for tuning in and, let's get us talk about some weep shit for about an hour. And I really appreciate it. And again, we, of course, want to shout out to our sponsor, In Stock Trades. Please, please, please check them out. If you're into manga more than comics, you can still get manga there. So,
and it's nice and discounted. Yep.
Super nice and discounted. So,
and their packaging is amazing.
So good. And, you always forget until you're ordering Amazon presents for Christmas. And you're like, what is
and everything's broken.
Always
just like
broken.
laying it in.
Yeah. One of my books was bent this week. I was like, no.
Yeah, I hate that.
Anyways, thanks you guys so much. So have a good night, and we'll see ya. Real quick, next week's show is going to be on Saturday at 8 p.m. We have an interview with Ryan K. Lindsay. So this will be a little bit different because both Kristan and Fariha will be out. So
we're working.
I will be there. As well as we're switching it up with a different near mint condition lady. I'm just going to keep bringing everybody in.
They're the sister show now.
You're going to have Amanda.
Yeah, so my co-host from Old Reader, New Reader on Near Mint Condition, Amanda Valdivieso, will also be joining us next Saturday for that interview with Ryan K. Lindsay. So that says Saturday, 8 p.m. EST. So if you're free, please join us. Hello, kitty cats. All right, so thanks guys. Have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Good night, guys.